I am Marietu Sidibe and this is QTV News coming to you live from our studios on Kairaba Avenue. Thanks for joining us. And now, here are the main local and sports news headlines. President Barrow returned to Banjul on Wednesday from the Democratic Republic of Congo, where he held talks on possible cooperation in energy, timber trade and business, among others, with his counterpart. The fifth legislature of the Gambia ended on Monday, marking the last session for parliamentarians who were elected in 2017. The Vice President, Dr. Aissatou Touré, on Monday presided over the official launch of the Comprehensive Food Security and Vulnerability Analysis 2021. The Inter-Party Committee, with support from partners, is leading efforts to advocate for the election of more women, young people and people with disabilities in the National Assembly and local council elections. In sports news, a US-based Gambian taekwondo athlete says his dream is to qualify and represent Gambia in the Paris Olympic Games in 2024. Those were our main headlines. Now the news in detail. His return to Banjul on Wednesday afternoon from his first official state visit to the Democratic Republic of Congo, President Barrow said he held talks with his counterpart on possible cooperation in the areas of energy, timber trade and business, among others. More in this interview with QTV's Aliou Cissé.
Welcome back. How will you describe your visit to Congo?
It was a friendly trip to Congo. And the most interesting thing is, this is the first time a Gambian president is visiting Congo. There is not much relationship as far as bilateral between Congo and the Gambia, especially the Central Africa. And we have a lot of Gambians in Central Africa, and they have a lot of capacity. So we say we have to explore also to make sure we build relationship between the Western countries and Central Africa. Basically, it was about that, and we have discussed a lot to see how best we can collaborate and do business between our two countries. And they are good in electricity. They are thinking about the power pool, how to supply electricity to other countries. They are already supplying other countries, but they want to see how best to connect up to West Africa. We discussed that. Obviously, timber trade also, we have a lot of timber around those areas, and timber is a big problem now in our countries. We have discussed that also. And he promised to visit the Gambia by May, June, so that we can discuss. And my foreign minister will be going there, so that we'll be signing certain agreements between these two countries.
We've observed, we've seen basic commodities are skyrocketing. And what more is the government doing, Your Excellency, to stable the situation?
Yes, we noticed that, but I think basically it is the international market that is causing basic commodities going up. But government is doing everything possible to see how best we can partner with people who have capacity so that they can be importing rice into this country. But the best solution is for us to go back to the land to see how best we can industrialize our agriculture, because we have the capacity to produce enough rice for this country. I think that is the best solution for this country.
You talk about having a quite sizable Gambian community in Congo, and we understand you also made the Gambian community. How important was this meeting for you and, of course, the Gambians living in Congo?
It was very, very important, and they were very, very happy, because they said even some of them have been there for 40 years. They haven't seen even a Gambian minister in Congo. So this is the first time seeing a Gambian president. I can tell you also, I have traveled many countries, but the community is so organized. They are organized. They are even supporting citizens, Congolese citizens in that country. They are organized. Really, they are very organized.
Thank you so much.
The fifth legislature of the Gambia ended on Monday, February 28, 2022, marking the last session for parliamentarians who were elected in 2017. As part of her summing up, the Speaker of the National Assembly, Mariam Jack Denton, revealed that 53 bills were enacted during their 5-year tenure. Fodiemane reports.
In her farewell statement to the lawmakers, Mariama Jagdentin, the Speaker of the House, disclosed that some of the bill enacted included the Truth, Reconciliation and Reparation Commission Act 2017, the Constitutional Review Commission Act 2017, National Human Rights Commission 2017, Persons with Disabilities Act 2021, among others. The Speaker also discussed the issue of having the Constitution Promulgation Bill 2020 tabled before the National Assembly by the Attorney General and Minister of Justice in 2020, where the document was stalled at its second reading. However, the Speaker says the government may decide to continue the process of promulgating a new constitution for the Gambia. During the second session, the National Assembly members had the opportunity to recount their achievements and some of their concerns ranging from security, health, lands and religious affairs, climate change, sports and trade that are yet to be addressed by the executive or the cabinet. In response to these issues raised by the NAMS, Dr. Aissata Toure, the Vice President of the Gambia, gave this assurance.
We are on a journey. The issues you have raised are quite clearly appreciated, and we know they are real. They do occur, and we are aware of them. There are certain issues you have raised that have already been completed, but there are others that are processes. And one thing that we have to understand in development is that when you are in a democracy, you have to follow the rules. It's a rules-based relationship. You have to follow procedures. You have to respect the institutions as you are emphasizing.
Several ministers present during this session, including the Ministers of Defense, Health, Interior, Finance and Trade, all responded to issues relating to their respective ministries.
Other question raised about the GAF, the Gambia Armed Forces, are ready to take over the sovereignty, the integrity to protect this country. We need the budget, we need the resources, the logistics are not enough. The men are there, they're willing to do it, but it's very expensive.
Like I said here, I think in response to a question, whether it's supplementary or original, it requires changing some of the existing laws, and also it requires further funding. But it's something that is being very seriously considered at the level of the ministry.
Another Sanimenta also raised the issue of road accidents. It is true that we have numerous road accidents in the recent past. And as I said, I mentioned it several times here that road accidents are associated, or there are a lot of factors that contribute to road accidents. One of these factors is the conduct of drivers. The other one is the type of road, and also the condition of vehicle.
Although this marks the last session for lawmakers elected from 2017 to 2022, the Constitution states that the National Assembly only stands to be dissolved a day when the proceedings of the next National Assembly begins. That date will be known after the April election. Reporting for QTV News, I am Fode Mane.
The Vice President, Dr. Aissata Toure, on Monday presided over the official launch of the Comprehensive Food Security and Vulnerability Analysis 2021, a nationwide and in-depth study of food security and vulnerability in the Gambia. Omar P. Jallo has the rest of that story.
The main objective of the 2021 Comprehensive Food Security and Vulnerability Analysis is to update the food security and vulnerability situation in the Gambia and provide comparative data to enable trend analysis over the past 5 years. The CFSVA aims to provide the government and humanitarian partners with information on the areas and population groups which are most food insecure and malnourished, why they are food insecure, and how food or other assistance can make a difference in reducing hunger. The Vice President, Dr. Aissata Toure, who doubles as the chairperson of the National Food Security Council, said the report is a remarkable achievement for the government as it will help track progress made towards achieving the Sustainable Development Goal of zero hunger, adding that the report will also serve as a baseline in the country's articulation of the national pathway for food system transformation in support of the 2030 agenda.
The food system in the Gambia is, however, fragile. And when faced with shocks, such as COVID-19 pandemic or climate-related ones, the food system is affected adversely and resulting in food and nutrition insecurity.
Sarafin Wakana, the United Nations resident coordinator in the Gambia, said food and nutrition insecurity not only lead to reduced health and well-being and subsequent drop in household income and food security, they also affect people's access to safe and peaceful environments.
The pandemic has done the most challenging phenomena on the food systems with negative impact on the food and nutrition situation of vulnerable populations in the Gambia.
Yasuhiro Smura, the World Food Programme representative and country director in the Gambia, reveals that staple food prices in the Gambia has increased by 21% since 2016, adding that the food security in the country is affected by global and regional factors, including the COVID-19 pandemic, which has severely hit the tourism industry that accounts for 20% of the country's GDP, thereby increasing poverty and vulnerability, especially in the urban areas.
And last year, we had a very strong windstorm that damaged many households throughout the country. At the last harvest in the Gambia, the cereal production was 18% lower compared to its 5-year average.
Asan Jallo, the permanent secretary at the Ministry of Agriculture, said the CFSVA 2021 report found out that 13.4% of the population are food insecure, out of which 1.8% are severely food insecure, while 11.6% are moderately food insecure. Food insecurity in the country, he said, has increased from 5.6% in 2011 to 8% in 2016 and 13.4% in 2021.
It is alarming to know that the percentage of food insecure population is higher in households that have access to cultivated land, that is the farming community.
The CFSVA 2021 was conducted when the COVID-19 had a severe impact on the country's economy, resulting in households' vulnerability. Also, as part of efforts to stop the spread of the pandemic, the government took several measures, including lockdowns, closure of businesses and restrictions of movements, which caused a decline in household incomes as many lost their livelihoods. Reporting for QTV News, I am Omar P. Jallo.
We will now go for a commercial break. When we return, we have more local news stories. Do stay tuned.
Q Money, the biggest mobile money service in the Gambia, has taken mobile banking to the next level. Now, you can link your Q Money wallet with your bank account. Yes, link your Ajib or EcoBank accounts with your Q Money wallet and get instant access to your cash anytime. No need to queue at the bank anymore. Transfer funds from your bank account to your wallet or your wallet to your bank account using Q Money Bank Link is the fastest, most secure, and convenient way to transfer funds between your wallet and bank account. For more information, call our customer care on 133. Q Money, Sunyu Kalpe. Terms and conditions apply.
To make sure your company's products and services reach your potential customers, it is essential that you choose the right channel for your marketing purposes. QTV has the widest reach locally and beyond, and we can give your business the visibility it needs. Call QTV Marketing on +220 324 4444 or email us at marketing@qtv.gm and take your business to the world.
The Inter-Party Committee, IPC, with support from UNDP and the National Democratic Institute, NDI, is leading efforts to advocate for the election of more women, young people and people with disabilities in the National Assembly and local council elections. As Alusisa reports, political party leaders and party selection committees are urged to nominate more qualified women and youth.
The 2021 Africa Barometer report shows the Gambia with one of the lowest representations of women in parliament, with the report ranking Gambia 49th out of Africa's 54 nations. As the Gambia prepares for the National Assembly election on 9th April this year and local government election in 2023, and in line with its mandate of promoting inclusive politics, the Inter-Party Committee continues to advocate for more women, youth and people with disabilities to be better represented in elected office and political leadership. The committee has spearheaded progressive conversations among political actors, particularly on issues of reform. Currently, only 6 representing 10% of the 58 National Assembly members are women, and at the local government, only 8 of the 120 councillors are women. For this reason, The IPC, in partnership with the United Nations Development Programme UNDP and the National Democratic Institute NDI, is leading efforts to encourage voters, the majority of whom are women and youth, to consider supporting women and youth candidates across party lines. Addressing a press conference on Tuesday, Musa Amul-Nyasi, co-chair of the Inter-Party Committee, said the committee was established by political parties as a forum for inter-party dialogue and cooperation to promote peaceful political engagement, credible electoral processes, foster national unity, and consolidate democracy and peace in the country.
We will be reaching out to give them all the moral and physical support that they deserve in ensuring that they disseminate the information, raise the awareness of their fellow women and youth. That way, I believe we would have achieved what we want to achieve.
Nyasi said their advocacy doesn't mean asking people to vote incompetent people into office, as he calls for peaceful conduct before, during, and after the electoral process.
We are not just saying pick them from anywhere just to fill the position. That's not the spirit. The spirit is we have them in our midst, but they are not given the opportunity to come forward. So that's why we are advocating for them to be given the opportunity.
Thomas Kimaru, UNDP project manager, and Lala Toure, senior program assistant of the National Democratic Institute, emphasized that inclusivity is necessary for any democracy to thrive and hope this initiative will bear fruit now and in the future.
There's no democracy that can be a full democracy, a mature democracy, without having representation from all sectors of the society, from all groups of the society.
This is just one of the many activities that we've conducted with the IPC since last year, and all of these have been geared towards consolidating our democratic transition as a country.
The IPC has established women and youth inter-party committees, while a gender policy for political parties is being developed to institutionalize, increase, and monitor parties' commitment to gender equality. Bakari Fati, Executive Director of Commission in Political Debates, reveals plans for parliamentary debates to be conducted by his commission in partnership with IPC and NDI and other stakeholders. Due to inadequate resources, at the moment, the commission will hold a debate for one constituency in the Banjul, KM, and West Coast Region administrative areas. A balloting where over debates should occur came out with Banjul North constituency for Banjul, Baka constituency for KM, and Fonyi Bondali constituency for West Coast Region. Reporting for QTV News, I am Aliou Cisse.
The Independent Electoral Commission on Tuesday commenced a two-day briefing for stakeholders on the upcoming National Assembly elections on April 9. The first day brought together political parties and the police. Omar Pijalo reports.
The training is organized for political parties, the police, aimed at sensitizing them about their roles and responsibilities in ensuring a free, fair, peaceful and transparent electoral process. Ali Momar Njai, the chairman of the Independent Electoral Commission, described the Gambia's electoral process as one of the most transparent in the world due to its inclusiveness from voter registration to results declaration. However, the IEC boss expressed his disappointment at the recent EU Observers report, which, among other criticisms, says the IEC failed to stop political parties from giving out money to voters during the presidential campaign period. In defense, Njai said the IEC has no such powers.
I was surprised that the EU came up to say we did not stop those who are campaigning or during campaign period issuing out tractors or caterpillars, whatever, to people who are using hand tools to plow over the years. They are then given this equipment so that what they were doing for a whole month can be done in one day. So they come in. As far as we are concerned, we have no right whatsoever to go and control what is being done like that during the process.
Security is crucial in maintaining public order during nominations, campaign, polling and the counting process during elections. Momodu Sow, the Deputy Inspector General of Police, said an election is a complex process which requires concerted efforts of all stakeholders and give an assurance that the police are fully prepared to ensure a peaceful parliamentary election.
We need to remind ourselves what is at stake. And elections are normally acrimonious situations across the globe. There is no single stakeholder here that can achieve it all. But when we come together, we collaborate as one people and one country. There is nothing that we can't achieve.
The deputy spokesperson of the APRC, Duduja, and Fatou Salah Job of PDOIS both share their impressions and expectations of the session.
This training will guide us through to know our do's and don'ts, which candidates would qualify and what disqualifies them. That's very important for the record.
Peace is everything. Without peace, the country is nowhere to be. So we always advocate for peace before elections, during elections, and after elections.
The two-day briefing is expected to enhance the knowledge and understanding of participants regarding their different roles and responsibilities to ensure a free, fair, peaceful and transparent National Assembly election. Reporting for KTV News, I am Omar P. Jallo.
In sports news. A US-based Gambian taekwondo athlete says his dream is to qualify and represent the Gambia in the Paris Olympic Games in 2024.
Alassane Anne, a 21-year-old taekwondo athlete born in the US, has chosen to represent the Gambia on the international stage. He recently returned from a competition in Dubai, where he won his first fight and reflected on his recent competition.
It was not only a training, but also a tournament. It was the first tournament of the year. It was a great experience coming back in the ring. It's been a while since we've been back in the ring because of, COVID and the regulation restrictions. But coming back, fought strong. It was a great time.
Alassane currently competes in the middleweight division. To qualify for the Olympics, he must transition from the middleweight division to the heavyweight. He has already begun the process by facing some elite competitors.
I felt much better, and we are transitioning from our middleweight phase to our heavyweight phase to prepare for the Olympics, because for the Olympics, there will only be the heavyweight for me. So for that, we were training for the heavyweights, and we fought very well. First round, first match, we took it home and destroyed the first person. Next person was Croatia. It was a great match, lost by 2 points, very short, but it was also another great experience and a great time, especially when you're in Dubai. No complaints there.
Ranked 46th in the world, Alassane says his ambition is to qualify to the Olympic Games. Despite his youth, he is determined to achieve this target.
Oh, of course. Already my ranking has probably gone up from the competition in Dubai. Just even though I didn't medal, I still placed, so I got a good place. So because of that placing, I ranked up a little bit, so put some points back on the board, start getting stuff ready. Right now, we're probably at 45 maybe, because I wasn't that far off. Now, this is Olympic ranking. There's two different types of rankings. There's world ranking and Olympic ranking for Taekwondo, for the sport of Taekwondo. And for this world ranking, I'm 25. And then for the Olympic ranking, I'm 45 now. So I have no complaints right now. I'm only 21. So with this ranking, by this time next year, I'll probably be top 30 in Olympic ranking, top 10 for world, hopefully.
Alassane praised the Gambian community in the US for supporting him and called on those in the Gambia to support him too to achieve his dream.
I'd love to have some local support from Gambia. I already have support from Gambians here in the US. So I'd love to see some support from you guys, because I mean, without you guys, I really can't do what I do. So I can't thank you guys enough.
Alassane is young and ambitious. An Olympic qualification is not impossible to achieve. He is determined to work as hard as it takes to achieve his dream. Mamadou Gajaga, QTV News.
Before we end, here is a recap of the main headlines. President Barrow has returned to Banjul on Wednesday from the Democratic Republic of Congo, where he held talks on possible cooperation in energy, timber trade and business, among others, with his counterpart. The 5th legislature of the Gambia ended on Monday, marking the last session for parliamentarians who were elected in 2017. The Vice President, Dr. Aissatou Touré, on Monday presided over the official launch of the Comprehensive Food Security and Vulnerability Analysis 2021. The Inter-Party Committee, with support from partners, is leading efforts to advocate for the election of more women, young people and people with disabilities in the National Assembly and local council elections. In sports news, a US-based Gambian Taekwondo athlete says his dream is to qualify and represent Gambia in the Paris Olympic Games in 2024. That's all we have for you in this bulletin. Join us at 10 for another bulletin. Thank you for watching.